Welcome everyone. This is Som Bartla welcoming you to the author transformation stories. Today we have someone very special, Abir Mazumdar. He is an author of a book called Thought Leadership in India. He is by qualification engineer, PG diploma in financial management and CFA as well. So he has worked with the companies like Volvo, Tata Teleservices, EY in the strategy and finance field. So he wrote this book in March 2019 after doing some research for some period, and then he came out with this wonderful book, Thought Leadership in India. So I want to show quickly this book so that you can look at what kind of book is it, and later on I'll share the links also before I start. Here is the book, Thought Leadership in India, and welcome Abir Mazumdar to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Soni.
Pleasure, pleasure. So let's get started. This is Thought Leadership in India, and now we'll talk to Abir about his journey. So thank you so much for being here, Abir, and what a journey. Like people are not able to even, complete their thoughts in the mind, and you have come out with the book and published it. So congratulations for that. And Abir has joined my community in September 2020 right now, and he is in the process of writing a next book. So we'll look forward to more books from Abir Mazumdar. But right now we'll be talking about his journey and the current book, which I just showed. So welcome Abir. Please tell the audience about your journey as to how this your background and then how this background led to writing this book. Over to you, Abir.
Thank you, Mr. Som, for this warm introduction. Yeah, actually, the whole process of writing the book can be looked back as my entire unique experience that I went through. I was in the consulting field, and then I joined the MD's office at a very young age. So I was looking at corporates from the top level from throughout my entire career of 15 years. I worked with the MDs, the CXOs, and looked at how decisions were made, what are the pros and cons. And that gave me a very unique experience in the field of strategy. And also because in finance, it was a good combination of strategy and finance. And as I went along in my corporates, there were a lot of unique experiences that I picked up, which I felt should be noteworthy at some point in time later.
Right.
So after about 15 years, I left the job, and then book writing was the first thing that came in my mind because that was in my control. In the sense of writing, because you don't need anybody, you don't need any resources, you're not dependent on anybody for writing the book.
Absolutely.
So that's how it started, and I picked up a lot of inputs from my experience over the years. Also, I picked up from the newspapers and magazines what was happening in India during the period that I was writing. I think it was a 2-year period that I was scanning the landscape of what is happening in the economy, what are the business landscape, what are the policy issues that were happening, what are the glitches all over. And by that time, I have already built up a point of view as to because so all those things I laid it out, and slowly the book came happening. And at last I published an ebook in March 2019. And it was a new identity, because before that as a regular jobbing guy, then I left, I had no identity. With the book I have an identity. I introduce myself as an author with that book, and that since then a lot of things have changed. After the ebook, and the hard copy came out a bit later. I think around August, September 2019, because through Amazon I could not get the hard copy, so I had to look around. So, but it was also put up in the book fairs, Delhi Book Fair and the Kochi International Book Fair. Good. It came out in I think last year to October in Kochi, and this year January in Delhi Book Fair.
Wonderful. So what a journey. Yes. See, book writing is something which is the easiest form of expression, because, there are different ways of expression. One is book writing, one is audio, one is coming on video. So video is the most difficult one because people have to expose totally to them. So that's why, in my journey also, you have like 15 years of work experience. And after that, so much experience gets into our head that we want to deliver that message to the world, what we have learned. So wonderful. And this is the same journey and first book is the sort of first love, because that changes the identity. So congratulations for that. And your inspiration for writing the book came from any specific person, specific circumstance, specific any reason why you chose only book? Tell the audience.
I think I was writing in a small way in the offices wherever I used to work. I used to
Okay.
do analytical reports, and there
Mm-hmm.
were a lot of ideas that used to come to me in the form of presentations because I was in the corporate presentations and things like that. So
Right.
the ideas and book writing capability mixed somewhere, and thought leadership is a book of ideas.
Absolutely, yes. So now let me ask you about this thought leadership in India. What exactly is the audience for this particular book, and who you think will be getting maximum benefited out of this book, and what exactly the book covers? What kind of thought leadership you're talking about? So just explain some for some time the audience about why should they pick up this book and what they will get out of it. Yes, over to you.
Thank you. I think the first message that I want to do about the book is this was a kind of a nation building attempt
Okay.
from my
Wonderful.
side
Wonderful.
because I was looking at the nation. Before that, I was in the national division of the corporates, I mean, corporate level work. But here I was exposed to complete nation, what was happening in the country, how the government is functioning, what are the policies happening. So put together, it started with the economy, and
Mm-hmm.
then slowly I brought it down to specific business sectors, and then I brought it down to even the corporate professional. So if
Okay.
you ask me for whom the book is written, I would say that the book is written for any corporate professional or anybody in the corporate space
Okay.
or in the business space who is having trying to question the status quo.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, because there are things happening, and if you're questioning it, are there alternative methods of reaching out or alternative suggestions that are being given? So these are some of my suggestions,
Mm-hmm.
for the economy. How policies are. I studied a lot of policies, and
Mm-hmm.
from there, I put it my point of view as to what policies should be and what are the 3 points. And I hope it reaches out to the right audience, because the audience could be the government, it could be business houses,
Mm-hmm.
because there's in-depth studies that have gone into specific sectors, specific companies. Also, I've studied 2 companies in detail,
Right.
which is like a case analysis, and
Okay.
I had to study the annual reports of these companies for 3 years because
Mm-hmm.
of the textual portion and the financial, and I redefined those companies on an
Right.
imaginary basis, saying that if the company is going in this direction, they can also, these are the multiple ideas that the
Mm-hmm.
company can choose. So
Okay.
it's kind of a 50% of the book, I would say, is from my own experience, and 50% is imagination based on
Great.
what I saw
Great,
on
great,
this.
great.
So, so
As they say, like creativity is nothing but a marriage of memory plus imagination. So, book is like you have a experience of in the strategy world in the corporate section. 15 years is a long time in the corporate world, and learning in the companies like E&Y, Volvo India, and big companies, and working with the top management. Of course, you must be exposed to a lot of different thoughts and how the problem is happening at different fields, and then what kind of solution are there. So imagination is of course required because you are thinking of some solutions, and this book is definitely will be useful for people who are in the policy making and or in the corporate world who are just struggling with these things. So great to know all of that about the book, and the links I will be sharing below the YouTube video, and everybody can watch purchase that book later. But let's now switch the gears a little bit, Abir. See, this interview is to, one is like people should know about your book as to who is this book useful for, but this is author transformation story kind of series. So what kind of transformations you felt, number one, in your personal life when you were writing the book? What kind of personal transformations were happening in your life, number one? Number two, any professional transformations you found by virtue of this book, so that if readers who are the viewers of this video, they should understand that okay, if they write the book, what kind of things they can expect from this author journey. Over to you.
thank you. Thank you. I think you have already started the discussion. Actually, I wanted to shift gear. The gear that was running in the corporate world, I wanted to shift gear, and the book was a very good way of shifting gear because it is in my control. It doesn't need money, it doesn't need investments, and a lot of ideas can come from me personally Then I
Yes.
can always relate to the outside world and say that these are my ideas, and maybe we can engage in a much better way, because that is how it is. So put together, I think it actually gave me an identity of an author, of a
Mhm.
business author,
Mhm.
and actually, today people, after the book has been published and after I've started talking to people as a startup person also, because I am in two startups which I'm starting, which are associated with the book. So
Mhm.
people are taking me very seriously.
Really.
It's not, which was not happening before the book was released. Okay, I was talking to them, yeah, no doubt. But before the book was released, the response rate was much later, and things have moved faster
Mhm.
after the book has come and after I'm sharing the details with him.
Right.
It's not that I had a very big launch or big fanfare launch or something. It didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But in my small way, my circle of influence has increased.
Right.
Today, both my startups associated, there are two startups that I'm working on, and both of them have started in 2020. In
Wonderful.
Yeah, the
Wonderful.
Idea Factory and the Learning Hall, and the foundation of those startups are given in the book.
Absolutely.
So it's
See,
a package.
absolutely. Author is a term which comes from the term authority. And the moment you write a book, you yourself start to think as an authority, because writing a book means compiling all the thoughts, putting a sequence, and then giving it a complete shape so that reader gets a journey from point A to point B. So that itself means and it's right. Author is somehow an authority in a particular subject. And secondly, for you, your book has become a visiting card, because visiting cards get thrown away, but book can never be thrown away. Somebody who is gifted a book from your side, he must be looking at the book various times, and that book can create a lot of opportunities. And that is something wonderful, as you shared that you have started your two ventures by after coming out of this book, and people have started to see you as an influential authority. Great to know that.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So now, wonderful personal transformation as an authority, as an identity of author, wonderful, and business transformation as a starting these two ventures, amazing. So those who are listening, if you are thinking of, see, journey of Abir is similar to mine, because I worked for 17 years in companies like Canon India, Star TV, Luthra, ADM, and I was working in the legal field. So I started with my first book in the personal development field, and the first book, second book is a kind of a little bit, you have to settle down. But yes, it gives authority. It's a personal transformation. You at least see that there is a different way of living a life, and instead of just going along with the crowd and doing the same things over and over. So this is definitely a non-conventional, unconventional path, and you have chosen that, Abhi. Thank you so much, and great to have you here. Now let me take some more questions from you. Now tell me one thing. Now what are so you have joined this Author Freedom Hub program. So why did you join this program, and what do you want to tell about this program to people? Because you've joined and you have you're seriously looking at our publishing marathon also. So tell the audience what exactly is this Author Freedom Hub program, and why you joined, and why other people should look at this. Over to
Okay.
you.
Yeah, because I think that's a very good point. While I was writing the books, somewhere in the middle of writing the book, I realized that, okay, I'm writing the content of the book, but then how to reach out to the customer, how to make people read it, how could be, I mean, where is the launch? I mean, there is no launch in the vicinity. What is the marketing to be done? All those things I started, wondering. That thought didn't come, it came on after I finished mid of the book.
Right.
And then I started looking around as to what kind of knowledge I would get, and I was not getting that kind of support. I was not getting. Maybe you had not even started the program during that time. Your
Ah,
program didn't have.
yeah.
Yeah, your
I
program
started
had not
in
started
I
then.
started in April or May 2020 this year only.
Yeah,
Yes.
so when I was looking for, I actually purchased a book from an author, and that book gave me how to write a book in 8 days or something. It
Mm.
was a book, but there was not hand holding. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a static. It came as a book, and then I published the books, but somehow the marketing part went missing in the
Yes.
first book. So obviously, I was looking around and expecting some guidance in terms of. Marketing. Yeah. Also, I had a lot of problem in the designing of the book.
Hmm.
While content is okay, but then you lay out, suddenly Amazon came with its own content, and there was the book cover issue and all those things. There were gaps. So the first book that I published were in terms of all the paraphernalia which is not in my control. There are gaps in that, and the book has come out in a some
Right.
kind of a compromised way.
Right.
It's not
Right.
as a the finish is not as a professional writer.
Right.
So when I came across this best-selling webinar, I came over and I got very impressed that
Mm.
these are exactly the things that I'm not good at. And I kind of joined on the first meeting itself, and I said I will I will need a guidance and a hand holding, and gradually I got to know it's a lifelong association. Generally, all
Yes.
the programs that you join is only for a 3-month program, and then you again have to enroll. So I thought, yeah, I have to take it slow. I cannot, I mean, by this time my startups have already started. So
Right.
I have to pace the book accordingly. So it's a lifelong program. So best part of that. Then I took the gold also because I felt that I need the, you should always get all the best things that is available.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
the gold membership I took in the November Diwali time. So both of them are, the memberships is giving me a lot of confidence. First of all, I've entered a very elite company. I mean,
Yes.
the company of authors. I mean, this would not have been possible if I had not joined this program, because
Absolutely.
it's always important, because they are very motivated. They are finding time. They are helping us. It's a community of practice that
Right.
I'm working with day in day out, and everybody is helping everybody. Not only
Mm.
you, but everybody is helping everybody. So I'm not. It's not a lonely journey. Otherwise, writing is a very lonely journey, and people are there to take packages from you, and they will help you only that much. Again, you have
Right.
to buy that package with you for the next one. So this is
Absolutely.
a very good company. I'm getting help and seeing the quality of finish, the fineness which is lacking in my book, and also how to write in 30-40 days. I mean, that's a great thing that I'm going through, how to, because for me it took years. So I just want to know the shortcuts. I just want to know the hacks, how people are writing big books in 30-40 days, and then how taking it to the finishing line, going and reaching out to the readers, making it bestsellers, going about outside the country,
Yes. Yes.
changing the
Yes.
boundaries and making it available. And also, if people are buying it, their lives are also improving.
Yes.
Through reading the books, of course, the book is some way helping people to improve their lives, change their lives for the better. So that's a
Absolutely.
great power.
Absolutely.
But you have to run the whole story. I mean, only writing is not enough. So
Yes. Yes.
not only
Yes. Yes.
author, but also the preneur part of it, the
Yes, yes,
entrepreneur
yes.
part of it.
Absolutely. You very well summarized because, see, first of all, I don't do transaction with the people, like selling something and disappear. It's not my game. I want to build connection with the people. The connection are like going like this way. I'm interviewing you people, and you are getting visibility. That is one. And secondly, yes, as you rightly said, lifetime as well as community is a very important thing because you are the average of 5 people you're spending the most time with, as Jim Rohn said that. So the moment you have right mindset people along with you, your environment changes and you progress faster. And a weekly connection which we have, that is, and publishing marathon that you're enjoying right now, all this is like in fact I'm enjoying this whole weekly meetings and publicathons, etc., because there is a lot of human connection happening. And the best part is that everybody, you never know which person has what kind of potential. It's like a latent potential hidden in people. And once this community of like 1100 people right now I have, it will go to 10,000. And what kind of ripple effect it will create on the community as well as on the whole humanity by virtue of the messages that I can still I can't fathom as of now how much, how long how big it is going to become. So thank you so much for joining the community and posing faith in this organization which I set up. So great to understand from you. And now, for the people who think that writing is not my cup of tea, maybe I'm young, I don't have that experience, so maybe I'm too old, I can't write a book. Maybe how to write a book, that is something I don't understand at all. Do you want to say something? Because when you started writing, all these thoughts might have initially come to you, but you overcame those thoughts. What was the sequence? Because you are now an author, and somebody who I authored 22 books, you authored like first book or second book. Then now somebody who is just thinking that writing, is it for me? Is it really, can it really be possible for me? Speak to those audience now, that why they should, I mean, what kind of challenges you faced and how did you overcome that? Couple of things, if you can tell the audience, that will be really connecting with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of challenges when you write, because writing a small part is fine, but writing a whole book, comprising of so many words, and until and unless, first of all, you have to, have a flair for writing. I mean, that is a basic requirement. The writing book comes later, but someone who has a flair for writing, and that can come at any point.
Right.
For me, it never came early. It's not that I'm writing since school days or college days or working. It's somewhere it came.
Right.
So it will come. You have to have a flair and you have to enjoy. And it is
Absolutely.
kind of, it will give you a lot of, your ideas will start flowing in the form of the book. So
Yes.
once they start flowing and you want to see yourself as an author, I mean, that dream will push you. I think the more important thing is that that dream. There are very few people in my community so far. I've not seen a single author. I'm the first person in the whole space. I
Yes.
mean, there are jobbing people around, neither an entrepreneur nor a author. So I've kind of tried to redefine the entire thing in my community. But
Right.
then it has to come from within. It is not that you have to show off to anybody or you have to prove a point to anybody. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to, the issue is to, you have to, and also remember that it is with writing is a like, I was reading about Chetan Bhagat, and you need a pen and a paper and a room and a place to write. You don't
Absolutely.
need anything. Yeah. So once you have that, and you know your power is in your hand, and then there is a support system available.
Yes.
While you know your journey, that I'm going to write books and influence mankind, because we have, somewhere we want to also be of use to the world. As they say,
Yes.
you find your own purpose in your life or whatever. We want to be of use to the world. It is not that I take salary home and I live for the new ones. Of course that is also required, but also you want to be of use to the world, and writing is a very good thing in the hands of a common person, which can
Absolutely.
influence thousands of people. You don't have to join politics, you don't have to make public speeches, but you just have to put your thoughts out and make people you have to put up some videos to make people know that you have written a book.
Yes.
But that's a
Yes.
very powerful thing. Also, it is important that a book transcends borders.
Hmm.
Though I've written the book in India, it doesn't mean that it only talks about India. Anybody can go outside. I mean, sitting at my home in one corner of my room, I
Hmm.
have a product that can reach anywhere in the world. And
Absolutely.
people can, lives can get influenced because there are a lot of ideas there. And I'm sure every book has some uniqueness, and people lives can get changed because you read a book. So while I have a message for writers to, put your thoughts together and put it out there, I also have a message for readers. Please read the books, and especially for Indian readers, because when I was writing the book, I was purely under the impression that Indians don't read. I
Hmm.
was writing from my point, because there are videos all over, movies all over, all the visual medium. But people reading is not, I knew when I wrote the first book, I was not sure. It's only now when I'm seeing bestsellers, when I'm seeing people around that, books are selling. So I get a
Yes.
confidence that people are reading books. But my also message is to readers to read books. If you want writers to write, I want also readers to read. So
Absolutely.
I put it out there as, message to writers that take the courage to write your books, and also to readers to give the patience and connect with the writers. And I just want to say my book is also a dynamic kind of book in which I'm trying to connect with my readers. The readers can reach out to me with their feedback, with their ideas and suggestions, and that makes it very dynamic. It's not a
Wonderful.
static book. It's
Wonderful.
not a static book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge, and you said that my 50% of book is imagination of what could be the best ways to basically build the nation, as you said that. Now, one thing you said very rightly, that we should be of some use to the world, and that reminds me of Tony Robbins' six needs, two needs of four needs of personality and two needs of soul. Let me talk about need of soul. Our soul has two needs. One is called growth, one is contribution. If we are earning good money but we are not able to contribute to the world around, people around us, or if we are not able to grow, then our soul feels unfulfilled. And when we write the book, we are contributing to the world our message. So my message to all the writers over there: see, if you are reading a lot of books, time is about to come that when you will be willing to write the book, because once the message is fed in the brain, a lot of messages fed in the brain, then you are ready for writing a book. So if you're ready for writing a book, then I invite you to spread your message to the world and join our community called Author Freedom Hub. There is a mini training video link below this video, and you can watch that, and you can join the community if you want to, and have people like Abir and other many amazing people in the community. We have like people like 14 years old kid who is hitting a bestseller, and this guy is now a national record holder by AMG Book Readers Club, OMG Book Readers Club. Yes. So if you want to join in, there's a link below this video, and if you and definitely you must try Abir Majumdar's book because it's a thought leadership in India. So even if you're out of India, you're watching this, if you want to know what is happening in India in terms of thought leadership, go through this book. It's a dynamic book, as he's saying. So links are below this video, placed under there, and you can watch that links as well. So this brings me to the end of this interview. It was a wonderful having you, Abir, on this session. I really enjoyed listening to you, your personal thoughts, your journey, your story, and about your book. Now, before we part ways for this interview, why don't you just come out with one parting piece of advice which readers should take home from your side? Anything you want to say last?
I think the one thing that I want to say is that take charge of your life
Yes.
and shift your orbit.
Ah.
And there will be people to help you out. But if you want to make a difference, you have to take the first step, shift your orbit, take your passion. I mean, discover your own self, what
Hmm.
you're good at,
Wonderful.
and yeah, what you're good at. And as they say about ikigai, or soul searching, we will
Yes.
all have to do it at some point in time. And the whole world will be there to help you, support you, but the journey is entirely your own. So your competence or confidence in yourself has to be very, very important. So this is true for authors also, because it's a very long process. And while we try to do it in 1 month, it's essentially left to myself. I will take another 3 years to bring out a book. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why I joined this group, just not to procrastinate and keep on, put on that.
Yes, 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 yes. A wonderful message you shared, Abir. So, see, people think that writing something in like 2 years, 3 years is definitely going to good quality, but sometimes reasons are not quality. Reasons are like you're procrastinating, you are like deferring it. It's not on a priority list. That's why it takes like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, because people are doing something other than that. Life comes in the way. So, and one message which you shared, Abir, like come out, show the courage. There's a level of consciousness chart by David Hawkins, which comes from 0 to 1,000. 100 is the level of fear, and below that there's a shame, guilt, etc. And 200 is the level of courage. Once we touch the level of 200 and go to the level of courage, then things start to move. And as the whole universe is one, and if we take action and believe and have faith in unfolding of the events in our favor, then things will definitely take shape. So I invite all of you to take charge of your life. If you want to become a writer, take charge of your life, come to my community and join them. If you are willing to look at this thought leadership concepts in India, then read the book from Abir Mazumdar, and I will come back with some more exciting interview very soon. Thank you so much, Abir. It was great to have you, and take care. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.